It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Just in time, it's time for relationship advice this morning. Now, we're talking about anarchy. Now, anarchy is understood to be a state of disorder due to the non-recognition of authority or controlling systems. But when this approach is applied to relationships, it can actually create a respectful space in which we can craft our relationship commitments to what is right for us. Now, this is the philosophy of relationship anarchy, which we are going to be exploring today.
Yeah, now it's Monday, and that means we're talking all things relationships. And we're asking the question, would you apply relationship anarchy in your own life? Now, clinical psychologist Asha Dullabh is joining us via video call to discuss this. And we're taking your questions and comments via our Facebook page. Asha, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Raul. I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, we are so good, and good to chat to you about this, a topic which sparks a bit of debate. But let me first ask you the question of what exactly are the principles of anarchy and how do we apply it to relationship?
Sure. So relationship anarchy is actually a very radical approach to relationships. It's very unique in that it's non-traditional. So basically, we are conditioned to pursue a monogamous relationship where we basically on a relationship escalator, where we sort of meet a person, there's a spark, and then we start dating. And then, of course, you get... you move in and then possibly get married. So that is the traditional approach. But relationship anarchy comes in when someone begins to question the norms and expectations of society at large. So they start questioning the monogamous approach to relationships. And basically they see it as they actually create their own rules and expectations within the relationship. So it's like a custom-made relationship that is spontaneous, that is adventurous, and quite unique to every person that's in the relationship. The core thing is their philosophy or principle is that love is in abundance and that there's no hierarchy in those kind of relationships. So everyone is treated exactly the same.
Asha, this is actually not the first time I heard about this. Obviously, I'm very new into the dating scene as well, but there's so many people that actually goes to this. They're not into the traditional way of dating anymore, where it's like, I'm going to take you home, meet my parents. There's a level of like the man does this and the female does this. It's a bit more of an open-minded approach when it comes to dating. Now, I don't understand it. I think I'm still very old school. You know this. I'm always like questioning, like, why would someone want to lead a non-monogamous lifestyle? Like, that's just me, again, very old school. But why would someone want to lead a non-monogamous lifestyle? And why, maybe again, in your words, is adopting the philosophy of relationship anarchy a way to approach this?
Well, I think people are beginning to question the norms of society and the way things are done. It allows them to give them that possibility of autonomy, of freedom, of really trying to connect to one's core values, needs, and relationships, because monogamy is not for everybody. And there's neither a right or wrong approach. It's just about people wanting to find what really works for them. I think the one thing about a relationship anarchy is that there's no labels attached. So, you don't refer to someone as my husband or my best friend. It's just that everyone is on an equal grounding and that you invest your time and energy equally with every person in your life. So basically, you've got a relationship with every individual that is completely committed, completely fair. There's no kind of ranking. There's no hierarchy that my spouse is more important than my best friend. So everybody feels quite invested in the relationship. So I think that many people would feel a sense of autonomy and a sense of freedom to choose and their spontaneity. They say that, you can you don't have to color in within the lines. You can actually color out of the lines. It's an adventure, and you custom make your relationship. So basically you can say, I've got a great friend who I'd love to have a child with, and I don't necessarily want to live with that person. I rather want to be in a romantic relationship with someone else, and that's okay. So it's really something completely new, and that's why I say radical. I think that people are just beginning to open up more and look at these other options of being in a relationship.
Wow.
Whew.
Wow.
A lot to take in, Jamie.
It
I
is
see
a
you
lot.
shaking your
I
head.
have so many
You
questions.
don't agree.
Yeah.
Look, Asha, it's always good chatting to you about this. Of course, we're going to continue the conversation. Jamie and I are going to start debating soon by the looks of it, but we are so ready to get more educated on what it means to be monogamous at the same time and also relationship anarchy at the core. We'll continue this conversation in just a bit. Don't go anywhere.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Monday on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. So we're talking all things relationships, and today we are asking you, ooh, this topic is hitting home, but would you apply relationship anarchy in your own life? Now, we're back with clinical psychologist Asha Dullabh to unpack this topic. So do weigh in with your questions and your comments on our Facebook page. We'd love to take your comments. We were debating, Asha, in the ad break because we're kind of not sitting on the same fence as this, but I know you do have a question for us.
Yeah, Asha, look, I mean, it's the theory to me sounds sound in a sense, but the practice is quite complicated, I'd imagine. My question to you, though, is when it comes to relationship anarchy, what then is the case when it comes to monogamy? Do they go hand in hand? Is it something that's expressed, or is it a gray area? How does it work?
So very often relationship anarchists are non-monogamous, but they can be monogamous in their relationship as well. They just don't abandon any other friendship, platonic friendship, any other relationship if they actually become part of a couple. So again, so often people feel that they have to abandon their best friend if they are in a relationship. But with relationship anarchy, that doesn't happen. Like I said earlier, there's no hierarchy, so everything is fair. The investment is completely with every individual in their life. So love is not restricted. You can love a few people at the same time.
Does that take away from that old school living? Because what is the expectation then? At the end of the day, what is the expectation? Do people... You're going into this knowing that you can love as many people. If I connect with you, I'm connecting with you. You're my person. What is the end goal here? Is marriage the end goal for people that is practicing relationship anarchy?
Well, like I say, with relationship anarchy, it's moving away from the traditional monogamous approach where it's the relationship escalates of meeting someone and then, finding the spark and getting married. So they can, of course, get married if that works for them. It's a very unique approach to relationships in that you are constantly custom designing your relationship, and there's a great need to really know yourself well, know your values, and know what you need in a relationship. Of course, people change and evolve all the time. So what it does require, I would imagine, is a very high level of EQ and really sort of having a lot of communication with your partner all the time in order to really navigate through a relationship like this. I wouldn't imagine it to be a very easy relationship. But, if you have that constructive communication all the time, reassessing your needs, your values, what you want in a relationship, I think then it could work. But it does require that very depth of EQ and connection, authenticity, courage, bravery, vulnerability in order to navigate this type of relationship. As you know, it's unique and it's not for everybody as well.
Where do you find these partners? Like, is there like a certain site that you go on and be like, is this a certain type of Tinder? Because I'm sure it has to be. You have to be like communicating this beforehand, or do you start communicating this midway through? I still have so much questions for you, Asha.
Look, so many questions, of course, that will be answered. Asha, you're sticking around. Of course, we're going to chat a little bit more. But what's more important is to find out what's important to you. So set your own core values and use them for all your relationships. Now, if you'd like to seek professional help in this or any other other area in your life you are facing with difficulties, then you can reach out to Asha Dullabh by emailing her on info@ashadullabh.com, and you can come through with any general life tips as well as any questions that you may have. And you can follow her on Instagram at Asha Dullabh. Don't go anywhere, of course, though. We will continue the conversation. But before we do, here's a stellar performance coming right at you.